Okay, hello. How we doing out there today? Act like I'm on a live show or something like that. Uh, Today we're talking about inner child work and specifically how to use inner child work when you're trying to embark on a sobriety healing mission. I don't know where to put this microphone. I need to get a nicer one, I think, and I don't have to talk right in it like this. Um, but whatever, we will see how it works. Anyway, today, um, an addict will never feel good enough without inner child work. 12-step programs might be complete, and rehab is conquered, therapy is continuing, meetings are chipping, but you still feel unworthy, small, incomplete. If this sounds familiar, I want you to stay with me. Hello. This is Dr. Dallas Bragg, psychic sobriety coach. I merge sobriety coaching with Akashic Records reading, and to bring the most angelic and high-level coaching that you're going to get in the sobriety world, in my opinion. If you find someone else doing it, please introduce me so I can learn from someone else. So let's dive in. Dopamine shots or fixes were coming to me from all my sober achievements. They fueled my momentum for the first year of quitting crystal meth. After quitting crystal meth, it wasn't long before my engine stalled out, though, right? And I was coasting on a plateau. Anybody who's tried to quit a substance or a behavior, you probably know what I mean. Doesn't sound familiar to you. All of the work post-substance was helpful for me to obtain clarity, but also exposed my core wounds, right? Numbing those wounds was what brought me to active addiction in the first place. So I felt like I had come full circle. My instincts told me there was something deeper to uncover than just quitting the substance and going through some of the programs. Discovering inner child work unearthed the core of my hurt. Discovering inner child work provided clear answers to my addiction. And discovering inner child work brought radical healing and wholeness to my life. You see, your inner child is basically a neural pathway that was imprinted at an early age. I want to give this disclaimer right now, is that when we mention inner child work, a lot of people get very skittish about it. They think it's woo-woo. They think it's cuckoo. They think you're literally going back in time. What is all this about? So in this video, I'm just taking a scientific perspective on it so that we don't go into the spiritual woo-woo part, although I can go there. It's all connected, whether you like it or not. It's all connected. You can prove everything in the spiritual world with neuroscience or science of some type, physics or whatever. It's no different for inner child work, but today let's just stick to the neuroscience. So back to inner child work. What is an inner child? An inner child is, like I said, it's a neural pathway that's been imprinted. So when we're at a young age, there are two situations that occur that imprint neural pathways. One is repetition, same thing happening over and over, and one is a strong emotional event. Either one could be trauma, either one could be messages that we get from parents, from the outside world, right? But in those times, 0 to 7 or even 7 to 14, our brains are more plastic and more impressionable. So this imprint is a belief that has controlled your life's story. This belief has been an author of your story, a belief that authored your addiction. Inner child work is rewiring and creating new beliefs, new neural pathways. So by healing the inner child, you are given the opportunity to write yourself a new story. You embody radical self-acceptance through deep knowledge of your core wounds. So by doing this, by healing the inner child or rewriting neural pathways, you get to choose your own adventure. You get to shift your entire life in a way that feels good to you without the uncontrollable external stimuli of a condescending parent or a cousin who wants to touch you inappropriately. All these things that might happen. There's a client that I work with who has a weight problem from one comment, 30 seconds. He went to grab something else to eat at the dinner table and was questioned. That 30 seconds has produced an imprint and a belief that has controlled the rest of her life. So inner child work is rewriting that belief. Okay? So here are 4 directives for effective inner child work from my experience. Number 1 is perspective. Get out of your head by eliminating the skepticism of inner child work. Call it something else if you want. You don't have to call it inner child work. But don't think of this work as literal time travel. And a mantra that I suggest for this is, I am on a mission to feel whole. And that's what this is all about. Wholeness is to not be controlled by something else, to heal in a way that you begin to integrate all your beliefs into one identity. So number 2 is impression. Don't second guess the messages from your inner child. The nervous system speaks first before your own thoughts. So you go with your first impression. Here's what I mean by that is, in inner child work, you're asked to ask your inner child what it needs, to get an impression from your inner child through meditation or through guided meditation, through transcendental meditation, through whatever, just observing the hurt. You get a message. That's your nervous system telling you what it needs based on this imprint, this neural pathway. Don't second guess the first impression that comes up, because it's always the right one and it's not you. And a mantra could be, I trust in this communication. So trust in it. Number 3, application. Don't separate yourself from the inner child. Whatever needs expressed by it, the inner child, this neural pathway, points to what's missing from your current life. What I mean by that is, let's say your inner child says, I need security. That means you're living life looking for security everywhere else. You need security now. So by showing yourself security, giving yourself safety, you're actually retroactively healing that inner child, again, by rewriting this belief that I am unsafe. You're rewriting it to, I am safe. A mantra could be, I apply all learning in real time. Number 4, relationship. So don't treat this inner child like an acquaintance. Approach the process, the inner child healing process, the same as if you were dating somebody. Well, how would you get to know someone? You would ask them questions. You would be curious. You would be learning. You would be listening. And a good mantra could be, I am curious. I'm listening and I'm open to learning. So get to know them. Get to know this part of you, because it is a part of you. Again, not trying to get into the spiritual side of it, but it's an energy. It's a part of you. It's a pathway. It has been with you your whole life. almost. So talk to it when you're triggered, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're disassociating, when anxious, all these things. Talk to it. Sounds cuckoo. What do you need right now? How can I support you? How can I access you? What is going on? Ask those questions. Allow the first impression to come up. That's your nervous system. And go with it. You have the answers right there. We all have the answers already. Understanding why your life turned out the way it did. It's complete liberation. You have, sometimes the why does matter. Sometimes you need the why. You need to know why this happened. Healing from the belief that you're not good enough, which is all of these beliefs, if you're an addict especially, it brings wholeness. Everybody has their version of, their flavor of, I'm not enough. You just have to figure out what your flavor is. It's nice to know where it came from. And it's because, and when you figure out what it is, you can install or edit or rewrite, or however you wanted to say it, the opposite. Your inner child holds that key to all of this and a lot more too. So there's my 4 suggestions for effective inner child work. Now it's time to practice. I have created a guided meditation, healing its inner child work, healing the inner child. It's going to be embedded on this video. I'm going to have the link in the description. It's here on YouTube. You can begin, and you don't have to use mine. There's a billion of them out there. You can begin by a simple guided meditation for inner child work to begin to figure out, create this relationship and figure out what it is this part of you needs. What is the belief that's been running your life? And how can you begin to give yourself what your inner child needs now? If you experiment with this meditation, please do me a solid and let me know. I'd love to have your unfiltered feedback, good, bad, ugly. I'd love to hear it. And suggestions for other guided meditations as well. Please don't hold back. While we're here, while we're here in this video, I wanted to ask to please give me also topics to talk about. If you're an addict out there and you run across my channel and you see some of these videos, feel free to say, can you talk about this? Or, ask me a question and let's do a whole episode on it. I would love to do that. And while we're here, please subscribe to this channel if you like this video. Like it if you like this video. You can click on the bell to get notified when I do upload videos, and those happen about every week. So good luck with inner child work. If you have any questions about that, you want to meditate with me, you want to get started or have questions, if you want to, anything you want to do around inner child work, please let me know. We can schedule a free consultation and go from there. Have a wonderful day. I love you all.